Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Sagittarius, this week we're going to see who you really are. That's the first question I'm going to ask in this reading, is who you really are, the mask you hide behind, or how people see you, or how you're kind of portrayed to them, why you hide your true self, how this affects your relationships, advice for you, and outcome should you follow the advice. So it's going to be all Wild Unknown. This week I'm going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot, and I'm going to start the reading with the Wild Unknown Oracle and see who you really are, Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, I kind of get the impression from the cards that you are, you're protecting something like really, really important to you, but protecting it from something that is quite uncomfortable or could result in a lot of negative attention somehow. It's interesting, like it's the first thing that really jumps out at me in this reading, but so now I'm going to kind of just pick it up from the order of it, like who you really are. Is you have the Dolphin, you have the Ace of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and the Sun or the Knight of Cups. I kind of want to say that you are, honestly, you're a healer of some sort here. The Dolphin is kind of represents like a spiritual healer, someone who has also done a lot of healing on their own. But it's almost like you carry some sort of burden with you, like a burden of perhaps like love or the intentions of what you would like your heart to be able to do. But you know what you want to do, how you want to express yourself, but there is some sort of heavy burden that sits between you knowing what it is that you want to do and then actually being able to do it, being able to move forward with that. But it's a really beautiful energy. Like I'm going to say, like who you are right now. It's really beautiful. A healing presence. Definitely a healer here. But I don't think anyone can really truly be a healer unless, they've kind of healed themselves. So you've done something here. Now, the mask you're hiding behind is really interesting. So we get the raccoon. Which is funny, right? I mean, he's literally wearing a mask. They are anyway. So the raccoon, the Hierophant, the Five of Wands, and the Two of Swords. I'm going to say right now, this to me looks like somebody who kind of keeps themselves in the shadow. So I'm going to say that. So like when I say the mask that you wear, it could be just kind of the way that you're presenting yourself to the outside world, or at least how the outside world is perceiving you. And that's not always accurate. It is what it is. So this looks like, though, to me, like the outside world would perceive you to be perhaps non-committal. Someone who would not want to commit to certain things because of the conflict that could bring, or I don't want to get involved. And then I don't know what to do. Like, I'm not really sure. Like, somebody who sits on the fence in terms of commitment. And it could be relationship, which is really interesting because there's something very powerful here for you in relationship, like why you hide your true self. It could be like a personal one-on-one relationship in this commitment, like the Hierophant. Could be someone who would get married. But this commitment could also be like just like people may just think you don't commit to things. You just, you kind of fly by night, or you hide in the shadows, or I don't hear back from you, or whatever it is. But I kind of want to say, like, you have your reasons. Your energy is beautiful. I mean, who you really are. So I don't know if there's anyone that you're dealing with that has that impression of you the way I initially described it. Maybe their energy is not the best, and you do feel that you need to protect yourself from it. I don't know. But you are protecting something here quite valuable to you. Like, so, because who you are and how people kind of perceive you is very different. It is very, very different. You're like a bright sunny day, but you should, like, even here, look. Like, right? Like, look at this color. Look at all that color. It's just so happy and so fresh. But then there is some sort of a burden here or something that's in the way, or maybe it is some sort of responsibility. I'm not sure. But it sits and it makes everything dark. And then everything is kind of monochromatic here again, but there is a bit of light coming through the cup. And look at everything. Everything over here is dark and gray. And then, well, pretty much. And then we get a little like eclipse energy. But it is kind of like, you could be seen as kind of brooding and dark and gray. But deep down inside, no, you are a ray of sunshine. You're a ray of sunshine. So why do you hide this, perhaps I would even say, ray of sunshine? Well, I'll say you have a legit reason here. If you have the fire ant is an uncomfortable energy. To me, it kind of feels like being the center of attention for the wrong reasons. Now, if this card comes up in the advice, sometimes depending on the cards the tarot that would come with it, like you could even see this in terms of, it's a very competitive energy to get in there and compete. So that could also be it. Like, part of how people might perceive you is that you really don't know how to compete. I don't know that I would describe that as Sagittarian energy in any way, but there's some way that you're presenting yourself here, or at least an impression that people have, perception that, yeah, with the Five of Wands and the Two of Swords, I'm not really sure how to compete for this. I don't know how to commit myself to compete for this. And look what this is. Look at this. This is the Ten of Pentacles, the Mother of Pentacles, and the Father of Pentacles. I mean, to most people, this would be like why you hide your true self. It could be, you could be protecting your family. You could be protecting the concept or the idea of family. There could be what feels like to you some sort of outside threat to family. I want to actually, let's revisit the Fire Ant card together, shall we? And let's see, this is why you're definitely in the shadows here. I think the fire ant's near the back of the fire. Yes, okay. Fire ant. Aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. Wow. Fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Oh yeah, gossiping, like, right? Like, this just, to me, it's like a bird's eye view of an after school fight to me, and two guys bumped in the hallway, and oh yeah, after school I'm going, and then word gets around, right? And everybody gathers. Like, it's just like this really negative energy. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. So, well, I don't know what this heat is, but I think it is, or it was, or you are not showing up in some way. And it could be a work environment. It could be like, maybe there's something coming up and they're saying, hey, we're doing a retreat next month, but bring your family. It's like a whole and you're like, I am not getting my family involved with these assholes. I don't know, right? And then it could be, I don't know, I have to talk to my husband, I have to talk to my wife, or like, it's like you're not committing, you don't know how to get in there. I don't know, there's like, because this is like home and family is why you do this. I mean, it's pretty big. So when in balance, thoughtful and disciplined. When out of balance, argues, excess heat, gossips to bring into balance. Solo time, walks at night. Oh my God, isn't that funny? That's interesting. you're trying to protect. And I'm going to say, because of what you're trying to protect, I think any mask you wear is totally legit. Like, this could be your home. This could be your family. This could be even something that you want to have for yourself one day, even if it's something you don't have right now. But there feels like there's definitely some sort of very uncomfortable threat around that. Yeah, which is, to me, what would be people's most important reasons for protecting anything in life. Yeah. So, how this affects your relationships? Well, that's interesting. So you get the stingray. So the stingray to me feels positive. So whatever you're doing, it affects relationships in a positive way. It strengthens them, opens them up, like, because it's like opening up the chakras and gaining confidence. So it is a little bit like it's allowing energy to flow more purely, more freely. Perhaps this fire ant, like taking a break from this, even to this fire ant, this, yeah, gossipy, maybe aggressive energy. I don't know if it could like cool things down in an environment. It could even be maybe there's something like going on personally in your own home life and you don't want people to know about it. Like, you don't want it to become the gossip. I'm hearing the term fodder. Fodder. Why do I feel like fodder is something used to start a fire? I don't even know if I can spell that right. What is fodder? Oh, that's interesting. Well, I guess it could start a fire. Fodder, food, especially dried hay or feed for cattle and other livestock. Yeah, the animals need foddering. What is foddering in slang? People or things that are useful for the stated purpose. Politicians are always good fodder for comedians. Oh, okay. I can still see how that could light a fire. Maybe you don't want to be the fodder of someone's gossip. That makes why I'm hearing fodder. Isn't it funny, like, how that works channeling? Like, I hear a word, I'm really not really sure, but what was the meaning of that? What came into my head? So, yeah. Now, okay, so let's go back to how this affects your personal relationships. You have the stingray. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, or the Mother of Wands, and then you have the Three of Wands. I want to say, for one thing, it kind of, it strengthens relationships in an odd way here. It may cool things down in certain avenues of your life that need cooling down. It may allow you to cool down. It may allow, like, your energy to flow a little bit better. But there's something here about wanting more. Like the Six of Pentacles, could leave someone wanting more depending on what's being given out. And the Three of Wands is expectation. So, there's this feeling here of kind of like wanting more. And the Mother of Wands, with that energy, that's like, I would describe it as something that is kind of sought after. But look at, like, she's protecting her eggs. And even possibly communication. So I really honestly feel like that there's something going on here for you where you feel it's important that you stay in the shadows and you protect either like your family, your partnership, but it does leave people wanting more. And maybe because with the stingray, because it feels like it would be a positive influence. So maybe people adjust or change. I don't know. Because, yeah, you're definitely staying like in the shadows there. So what is the advice for you? Now this is interesting. The beaver. This is funny because I'm thinking, well, I wonder if this does have something to do with work. The beaver. This is the happiest little guy. This little dude. He's like nature's architect. He builds wonderful things for those around him, her, and yeah, works from sun up to sundown with a really great little attitude to do it. But you get, okay, so you get the Eight of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Queen, the Daughter of Cups. So like the Page of Cups. I kind of wonder, maybe there is some sort of, I could almost ask, right? Like, is this, I'm going to clarify this. Does this still exist in some environment or some situation? Because there is some sort of maybe limited understanding here for you to see, like that you can actually build something. There's hope to build something here for you. So maybe you could dip your toe in a little more deeply in some sort of environment or situation without putting any risk to yourself or your family. So that's kind of the advice. I want to clarify that, like the Eight of Swords and that fire ant. But now, the outcome, if you follow the advice, is the golden egg. So that's interesting. Oh, look at that too. So then you get, well, then you get the Eight of Pentacles again. Get the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, and the King of Swords. So this is manifesting. Like this is actually a manifest being created. Something actually being manifested here. And it's some sort of a hope or a wish or dream. Definitely like happiness about some type of work that you do. Maybe it could be a job opportunity, maybe an improvement in a work environment, or it could even just be something that you've clearly mastered this. And so it comes to you in the 3D. Like it's a really awesome actually outcome. And then right, this King of Swords, very clear mind here, clear insight. But right, well, the Eight, this is not having that. There's something limiting perhaps your belief or understanding in something going on around you. And then this is to see it very clearly. So, okay, your underlying is the dragonfly and the wolf. So this is seeing through illusions, starting to see through illusions, but the wolf looks so directly at us, no? The wolf, and this, just this sense of leadership that I get with the wolf. Oh, look at manifesting. Look, the Father of Wands and the Magician. So that just indicates that you are manifesting something. And you do have the King, and what it's interesting, you have the two counterparts here. You have the Mother and Father of Pentacles, and you have the Mother and Father of Wands. This could even have something to do with some type of like personal independence within a relationship too. Oh, okay. I'm going right to the fire ant. Right to the fire ant. I'm going to say what... I'm going to look at it in two sort of timelines. What was it? What is it? What was the fire ant? What was the fire ant? The Knight of Wands and the Ten of Cups was a whole lot of fun. Seems like a whole lot of fun. It could even be, let me see, what is it? What is it like now? Oh, it's interesting. Oh. It's the Father of Cups and the Empress. Okay, so this goes from some environment here being like, I mean, with the Sun or the Knight of Wands, this can be kind of a bit like the player, right? In this, and with that fire ant, I kind of wonder if there was a lot of games here, But it's weird because it's also the 10 of Cups. Like, this is an environment where it could be really happy and fun. It seems really colorful too, right? With all the color on there. And it could be something that was sexually driven, but like even just like sort of more base type desires and passions for fun and happiness, like fulfilling through that. Where this, I mean, it's something that's transformed enormously. This is a lot of emotional depth and abundance and growth and stability and beauty, and it's not to say that the other one doesn't have value, but because it's associated with the fire ant, it feels kind of uncomfortable. That, no? Wow. It could have even been like some sort of environment here that was gossipy or talkative about people's, even perhaps their sex lives. Fodder. Wanting to be fodder for somebody's gossip. Can you use that in a sentence like that? I don't see why you couldn't. Because if politicians are fodder for comedians, yes. I'm going to use it all the time now. Use my new word. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so then the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords. The Strength card. Well, maybe you should continue to hold tight here. The Beaver. This deck has been so particular lately. There's times it's just flying all over the place, and then there's times like you're reading, it is holding tight. The Beaver. Oh, it's probably the wrong use of words. Come on, there's nothing to say about the beaver? Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh my God. Well, the beaver is devilish and single. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways. Well, that's an interesting combination. Beaver is just a little rodent. It's just well, it's actually a big rodent. I don't know, like there could be people in other countries too that don't know that there's, anyways, we won't get into that. So the beaver, I want to say that there's some freedom in terms, like some sovereignty that's created here. So advice to you to go from the devil to sovereignty, strength, dignity, courage. The 3 of Pentacles. The 6 of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles. So this is like, okay, there's some sort of environment here for you that is very conducive to building success. Very much so. I want to say if this is in any way related to the fire ants, which is kind of like, it'd be like a lot of passions and desires even. Very competitive, very competitive too. That's a very kind of instinctual baseline animal energy. To, if anything, I want to say protected too. Well, that's also interesting because the 9 of Pentacles is the Empress in protection or waiting. And what does the fire ant become or is now or whatever? It's like deep emotion, and it is the Empress in bloom sort of thing, like growth. This Page of Cups, like hope. The Page of Cups. Hope. Wow, hope that quickly transforms into wishes, dreams. I don't know, maybe there was just some sort of like situation you were going through too. This like, this is not the right time, or this is not the right environment, or I don't know. I guess environments can change too, so I'm not sure. But something, you know, you got to do your own discernment, but it looks pretty good. The golden egg is the outcome if you follow the advice. The Father of Wands. Oh, no, wait. The Eight of Cups. Sorry, that came first. And then the Six of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles. The Seven of Wands. The Nine of Wands. Oh, maybe this is some... I don't know what was going on here for you. The Nine of Cups is the Ten of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. It's kind of like holding tight onto a dream. The Father of Swords. The Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands and the Father of Pentacles. All right. So the outcome, if you follow the advice, is some sort of balance that is created here. I want to say maybe for you. It's either for you or somebody important to you. Because you still, I mean, I don't figure out who this Mother of Wands is. If that's not like you, it could be. But that is very protective. Because she's protecting the eggs, right? And then what do we have here? But we have an egg. And then the Father of Wands. So here's the other thing that I find interesting. I picked up on it like almost immediately when I pulled the cards out, but I haven't said it yet. Is if you look at this, like this looks like, okay, these cards, do you see how the body language is playing out here? Where there's this really uncomfortable energy, and it's in either, it could be a home environment, a work environment, and then you see like, it's almost like the mother and the child are left there. And then this Father of Pentacles is going in another direction. But I want to say it's almost like he's kind of watching, but his body language would more indicate, if you were just casually observing, that he was leaving this situation. So, you know, I'm just saying this because of something that I'm picking up over here that's kind of magnifying this, is that it's almost like it could be like a mother and a child, or even like a partner being temporarily kind of, I don't know, left in a situation that is uncomfortable. Right? And then so there's the other mother. And what is she doing? Like she's wrapped around the eggs, like protecting the eggs, because this buck or the father elk has gone elsewhere. I'm saying, I don't know how this part of the reading resonates for anyone. But now, so the outcome, right? If it's not dangerous anymore, whatever that could mean for you, or unhealthy environment of some sort, then it's almost like the father comes back to the egg. Right? Yeah, there's something kind of unusual about that there. And then here, there's some sort of clarity about this. Maybe. This could even be something like, you could be protecting, this reminds me a little bit of the Virgo reading. Like you could be protecting something that's going on between you and a partner. Either protecting something that's going on between you and a partner or a potential partner. And there's some kind of distance, the way that is played out. Because it just almost feels like this feminine energy is now protecting the child, is protecting the eggs. Or at least, but it does become confident to do this. So that's also interesting. It could even be some sort of lesson here between like daughter and father, or, child and parent in some dynamic. When, you give them space, they learn how to kind of fend for themselves a little bit. Like that kind of energy is here. Okay, so like outside of that, I won't like hang on to that for a long time because I don't know that it's going to be for everybody. But so it is like this Father of Wands energy is somehow, right? Like balance is created in the protection of the egg. Balance is created in the protection of something that is being manifested. There is perhaps even like something is protected or defended. This is the part that I find curious, like the 9, the burden. What is this burden? Now I got to go over there. Okay, so what is this burden? The 10 of Wands with who Sagittarius really is. What is this 10 of Wands? Wow, it's the Sun. So it could even be like some sort of truth within yourself that you haven't been able to express or release. Can you do that in the future? Like at least until next week? I don't know. These are weekly. I don't know, because it's 10 of Wands and the 4 of Pentacles. It's like there's still something. Something is still held back here. But there's some sort of greater truth that is understood. And some sort of dynamic for you. Oh. Where are you? I wondered where you were. Oh, you've been outside watching chipmunks. Yeah, that's what I have. It's at the bottom. The 7 of Cups. Just the 7 of Cups. Well, I didn't find that too confusing. Maybe you do. You're like, I don't know, it didn't resonate. Well, not for everyone every week, but you know, 7 of Cups. So it could be confusions, illusions. I'm going to go do the extended. In the extended, I'm going to continue to use the same decks. I am going to use a new teeny tiny tarot, though, for clarifying. And we're going to ask, how can you release your full potential at this time, Sagittarius? There you go, Sag. Thank you so much. Till next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.